Shadowboxing is a key element of your training. It's a very important part of your training. You have to shadowbox if you want to get good. And the beauty of shadowboxing is you can do it on your own. Now, the thing about shadowboxing is you want to make sure you're doing it correctly. You don't want to just be throwing strikes and moving, and you're not moving with any type of intention. And the best way to do that is to visualize your opponent while you're shadowboxing. That's essentially the key thing about shadowboxing. You're really fighting someone that's not there. You're doing it to improve your technique, your footwork, your stamina, your endurance, and the last part is dependent upon how many rounds you plan on shadowboxing, because you can shadowbox for 3 rounds, 6 rounds, 9 rounds, 12 rounds. You can shadowbox for a whole hour if you wanted to, okay? Non-stop. I wouldn't recommend it, however. But you do have to visualize your opponent or an opponent. Someone has got to be in your mind. You got to be able to see them and look at them and visualize them throwing strikes at you, attacking you, putting the pressure on you. You got to put the pressure on them. These are the things you have to do when it comes to shadowboxing. You also got to make sure that your technique is sharp as well. That's one of the things you have to do as well when you're shadowboxing. Notice as I'm moving with intent. So I'm not having anybody, I'm visualizing an opponent and I'm not just moving for the sake of moving. That's just a short example of shadowboxing, okay? Now, obviously you guys couldn't see anybody here in front of me, but when you're shadowboxing, you gotta move your head like someone's trying to actually hit you. Now, you don't want to shadowbox and if someone throws a punch, you come all the way down here. That's not necessary. And depending on what you're doing, your discipline when it comes to shadowboxing, that's gonna influence how you shadowbox. So if you're doing kickboxing and you slip your opponent's punch, you definitely don't want to bring your head all the way down here because that kick can come and crack you right in your jaw, hit you in your temple, okay? So when you're shadowboxing, the punch is coming straight down the pike. I don't have to miss them by a mile. I just have to miss them. I'm quoting the coach from Las Vegas Academy. Y'all know who he is. If you don't, you can put the name in the description. I forgot who he is. I do follow his channel though, but he made a good point. I don't got to miss all the way here. I just need to miss right here. If the punch is coming right down the pike, I just need to go here or here, okay? I'm already at 12 o'clock. I just need to go to either 10 o'clock or 2 o'clock. That's it. I don't need to go to 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock because I got to be mindful of the next strike that's coming, okay? I can still pull facing this way. I can pull, and then I can also slip, pull, slip, okay? I can also defend against a round kick. So I can come here, I can even catch, come underneath here, I can step back and pull out. If I'm defending against someone that's throwing kicks, I can also check a kick, check another kick, I can check, and then counter, okay? Check, counter. Check, counter. Okay? Check, counter. I can also block here, counter. Block, counter. Block, counter, counter. These are things you can work on when it comes to your shadowboxing. Okay? Now, after you visualize your opponent, which should always be in the forefront of your mind, now you go on to your technique. You got to make sure your technique is sharp. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, roll, 3, 2, okay? Your technique isn't just your strikes, it's your defensive movement as well. Even your pivot, that's part of your technique as well, which also means you have to make sure your footwork is good. So you can't just pivot for the sake of pivoting, you have to actually pivot with intention. So if I pivot, I can use a cross block and come right here, okay? I can use a cross block again here. I can use a check hook here. I can even check hook with the rear hand. Here. That's risky, but it's not like put it this way, it's not like it can't be done. A check hook can be thrown with the rear hand, okay? It depends on what strike is being thrown. If opponents are throwing a jab, I can slip out and then come out the same way here. I'll just have to step out. Boom. That's the check hook with the rear hand. But in essence, when you're shadowboxing, you got to make sure that an opponent is in front of you. You also want to pace yourself as well, because you don't want to burn yourself out when you're shadowboxing. I know you see a lot of guys when they shadowbox. It looks good, but is that truly shadowboxing? No, it's not. And I know that was sloppy. I'll admit it. I'm fasting, okay? So my energy level ain't there, but it's also just not how I personally shadowbox. I don't do that. So I'm not throwing 50 punches in 10 seconds. That's also just not realistic in a fight. No one's doing that. So that's the most important aspect also. When you combine everything together, then your shadowboxing should be realistic. Don't do anything to look fancy, to look cool. You gotta be effective. And you also gotta be efficient. Okay? So don't throw punches, you know. You don't need to do all that. Just focus on the fundamental. Jab, cross, hook, roll, hook, cross. Pivot, teep, knee, switch stance, jab, jab, cross, uppercut, jab, pull back, pivot, circle around my opponent. These are the things that you should be focusing on. So remember that when you're shadowboxing, these 4 elements. You gotta visualize your opponent, perfect your technique, fix your footwork, make sure your footwork is sharp, and improve your stamina and endurance.